everybody. Welcome to kdmoonchild's world and the Lightworkers RoundTable. I'm Katie, and this is my most wonderful guest, ona'starot. Welcome, Ona. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hey guys, I just got the notification that we're on, so everything's good. Thank you. I just wanted to say thank you so much for inviting me. I'm really excited. And I think from just the brief talk we had before, we have a lot of episodes coming.
I think so too. I'm so
Right?
Yes.
I'm like, oh yeah, we could we could talk about this for an hour. Let's narrow it down.
Oh, we've got so many different things that we could talk about for episodes. Just in the few minutes we've talked backstage. This is great. I love it. So, yes, welcome everyone. I hope you're all breathing and surviving through the week as we all are doing our very best to keep our vibes high, especially right now with portals and things that are opening in the next couple of months. 7/7 portal was today. And then we've got Lionsgate on the 8th of August.
Yeah.
Lionsgate last year was huge for me. My grandmother came through as one of my spirit guides last year.
Wow.
And I have learned through her, I get all my gifts from her.
Yeah.
It's her.
Was she a fire sign?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Yes, she was.
She was a healer in Kentucky. They came to her. She's a hillbilly. They came from all over for her healing. Yeah. And my family never likes to talk about her because she doesn't fit their religious pattern. And they don't like to talk about me either for the same reason. So it's appropriate. Grandma showed up to tell me it's okay. I'm here to help you. You and I are together.
So you needed a pioneer.
I did. I really did.
Yeah.
And I come from an Arizona pioneer family. My great-grandfather came here in 1862.
Okay.
So that's before it was even the Arizona Territory.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was. That's another story altogether. He was, talk about incredible. Sailor, survived shipwreck on Cape Horn. Went to China. They picked him up, saved him. Took him to China for 3 years. Took him 3 years to get to San Francisco.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And that was in the days of the wooden sailing ships. So
yeah.
Interesting people. I love doing family genealogy. Our ancestors are us. Every single one of them are us.
Yeah. We called it the Sicilians called them stragas.
Okay.
And they had, each one had like a different function, right? So if you had the evil eye, you went to one who could remove it.
Okay.
Right? If you wanted to get pregnant, you went to a different one who would make a medicine for you.
Okay.
That kind of thing. Yeah. So that's like where my family lines up.
Okay. Yeah. See, mine's Celtic. And my family's Celtic, Scottish Highlander.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Scottish Highlander and Anglo-Saxon English. I got Braveheart going on inside all the time. Anyway, tell us a little bit about you, my dear, what you do, and just about you.
I'm looking at the comments here. Well, I am my career was as a registered nurse, and about 8 years ago I got a stage 4 colon cancer and left the nursing profession. But I always had a background in art and just didn't make a living off of it. That was like my side thing. I would do shows and stuff like that. I started, I can't remember like a tipping point where I became interested in divination because, as you know, we come from diviners, right? In some way, shape, or form, my family is, superstitious, or right, there's always
Mhm.
there's some outside source that works with you. So
Yeah.
that was always a part of my kind of, upbringing, really,
Yep.
putting certain, saints, uh, things under your bed, and, saying certain prayers. I mean, the ritualistic um, magic, right? The
Yeah.
ritualistic magic.
Yes.
And that, yeah, right. And
Mhm.
that was how I sort of got started with tarot when I was actually living by myself, and um, I either was palmistry or tarot first. I can't remember, but it was the same teacher who took a few students, and we did
Oh, that
different
would
classes,
fun.
and that was in the early 90s. And that was kind of like my side gig. And so it just kind of evolved. And then after the cancer and after leaving the nursing profession, I
Yeah.
went into like a really deep depression where I just thought I was losing my mind.
I got you
Right?
there.
I thought I was losing my freaking mind. I couldn't read. I was seeing shit. Um, it was just making me nuts. So I was seeing a neurologist. I changed insurance. I saw a new neurologist, and I'm explaining these symptoms, and I'm telling them about the colors that are shooting out of them, trying to tell him what was going on. He said, "Oh, that's just synesthesia."
Oh, wow, I'm just sitting here thinking to see this shrink going, "Yeah, this lady needs to talk to me."
I thought, I honestly felt like
Wow.
when I left there, I felt like I was sort of like bouncing off the walls. Like everything kind of made sense because I Googled it. I didn't
Yeah.
even know what he said.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even know I'm like, what is that? And I was like, oh my God. And he said sometimes after chemotherapy, because we know
Mhm.
that it affects your nerves, that's why you're here. When they rewire, you may have more than one response to a single trigger. So
And
that's
that's
what that means.
fascinating to me.
So some certain triggers will make me taste the color blue,
I
right?
get you. I get that.
Right. So that was post chemo, but when I look back, I think of the ways I learned some things, like some skills, or how to read, or how to retain information for tests. I think I always had that, but after chemo, it was like
It got
explosive.
clicked on. Like it got clicked on.
And then it all kind of started to make sense, right? All these different levels of separation started to come together like a big puzzle.
Yeah. That's fantastic. How
Yeah.
interesting.
And I got my chart done, and with Dr. Skirbo, and she's like, "You got to tell your story. You got to tell your
Yeah.
story." And I said, "Oh, my kids. She's the poet. She'll write my story." She goes, "No, you got to tell your story. I don't care what your kid does with your story. You have to tell your story." And I'm like, "I don't want
Yeah.
to write." She goes, "Just start a channel, start a vlog, start a blog, whatever you do.
There you go.
You have to do this." And that's how all the YouTube stuff got started.
Yeah, I loved it. Like when you first started out and you were sitting at your table, kitchen table, you and
Mm-hmm.
giblets, you and giblets doing readings with your sculptures and stuff on the wall behind you. That's before you moved in where the big clock and stuff is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's still downstairs. So I always had this, I always did art. I always had just an art background, and sold stuff at fairs and stuff, things like that. And now it changes every time. It changes every time there's a full moon now,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Do you
Yes.
notice yours? It's like it's just different today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, the inspiration that I'm getting for wanting to try new things,
Yeah.
I have fibromyalgia too, so I'm highly sensitive to smells.
Yes.
But I am just being driven to work with resins. I want to
Okay.
make runestone jewelry and runes and
Okay.
yeah, that I do acrylic nails. I have done them for years. So
Uh-huh.
those I'm used to those fumes. It's pretty much the same fumes. Uh so I have all of the mica powders and the glitters and all that stuff
Yeah,
that is
yeah.
so nuts.
Make a set. Make a set.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
make a set.
I'm
Absolutely.
yeah.
Definitely.
And
Start
I
making
bought a mold for a mandala that makes mandala coasters like this big around. So I thought, "Ooh, that would be fun too." Yeah,
yeah,
I'm gonna do a website and start selling stuff on my website.
yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, YouTube's becoming small. I wanna expand more. Spirit's going, "Okay, time to move on, move out, expand."
There's that push that you're sort of an independent contractor,
Yeah,
right? And you should have multiple outlets like YouTube and
absolutely.
other social media and a website and a way to be contacted and manage that. And you need to do that with people. You know,
Yeah.
people need to work for you, and it's not it's not easy.
No, it's not, and yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I had an Etsy shop for a couple of years, and it was so much work that it took the fun out of the creative process.
That's what I'm afraid of happening
It
because
did,
I'm a
because you're in the
painter. I
middle of
paint.
something and people email you
Mhm.
because their package is late or
Yeah.
FedEx ring, you have to fix a problem and you come back and you're like, I don't even want to do this anymore, you
Have
know?
you ever checked into Fine Art America?
No, I have to look at that. What is
Check
that?
into them because, to sell there, they used to even have where you people like ABC, CBS, NBC, TV shows for sitcoms and stuff, they need artwork in the background. Where did they get that artwork, gang? Places
Fine
Fine
in
Art
America.
America will set you up so that they will lease your artwork.
Oh, really?
Yeah, instead of selling your art once, it's like selling it over and over and over again, but you only have to make the artwork one time.
No, I like that. I wouldn't mind. I've done that. I've contracted stuff out.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and then picked it up later.
I had a painting instructor that was pretty much the only place she used to sell her work. And it wasn't unusual for her to get $600 or $800 for a painting through there.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Wow,
That's
interesting.
much better than Etsy. And Etsy now takes like 25%. They've really increased their
Etsy
fees.
turned into a real mixed market. It used to be if you wanted something extremely unique and
And
truly
handmade.
handmade,
Everything
like
was handmade.
in like 2010, right?
Yeah.
2010, around that time, like it was, you could find the perfect thing for somebody. Now
Yes.
it's like just a bunch of crap.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
it's
yeah,
drop shippers. It's mostly drop shippers now.
yeah,
They're selling stuff for Alibaba.
it's
It's
unbelievable. And it
sad.
made me so angry. It was like, I can't sell something handmade when a leather tote bag
Yeah.
that is mass produced costs less than half, right?
Right. And it's made out of chicken skin.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even made out of real leather.
God, it was just, yeah. So I close it down. So I just do stuff in the neighborhood and stores because I don't want to just do one thing. I do a
Right.
series of one thing and then I'm done with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's like you did the chair. I've
Yes,
been being called to paint a chair. For years, I did a patio table, and I painted it. And I did mosaics on the top.
Yeah.
It's a sun, and I broke up Mexican tiles so that it's that bright Mexican blues and yellows, and
Yeah.
in the sun, it's a big sun on the top of it. And then the chairs, they're all turned. And my dad found this old um, table and chairs from someone's house. It was a farm style, but it's all particle board and paper crap on the top of it. So this is why went after it. Get out the latex house paint and mixed up colors.
Yeah.
And I painted the legs and the chairs and stuff up like Mary Inglebright, with her little round roses that are spirals, and
Oh my
her
God.
I had a ball with that table. I got offered $2,000 for that table. And it was like, you guys want to come and pick it up and take it? That's fine, but it weighs 10 tons. It's still
Yeah.
sitting in my patio.
See, is it worth it though? That's a lot of hours of work
Oh,
for
it was so
$2,000.
much fun. I mean, the grout
Yeah.
was black grout.
Yeah.
And I'm working on it outside because it's black grout. There's no way I'm going to make a mess in the house with that fine
Yeah.
powder. Well,
Yeah.
I go in the house and look in the mirror, and I look like I'm in blackface. I was just
You're
all
not
that.
you're not using a mask when you do all this
Oh,
stuff.
I
It's
do,
important
but
to do that.
the rest of me, my clothes, my hair, everything
Yeah.
had this fine black powder.
Oh, I know. Even with even with a mask on, you still get
You're gonna get it in your nose.
you
It
still
peeks
I was
in
gonna
around.
say,
You can't. Yeah, it doesn't put completely seal to your face.
yeah, yeah.
So, but
Oh
yeah.
gosh.
Hi, everybody in the chat. I haven't taken the moment to say hi to you all. So good to see you. Good regular people I can see all the time.
Good.
I love my family. I call them my family because they're my friends and my family.
Good. It's
Yeah,
nice, isn't it? To
yeah,
have
it
a
is.
community where people go like, oh, we got to catch it now and come in and know that they're just like relax, chill, get some good content, right?
Right.
I love
Get
that.
some, raise their vibes, find out, what do these people really like? We get to see what you guys are like when you're doing your profession, but a little bit about who you are, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
But you tell your story all along. Not everybody does.
yeah.
And I really think that as new people are coming to this way of life, um, they're going to want to know where we came from too, that we're just like them. Most of us, and a lot of us, have been blessed to have these gifts their whole lives.
Hmm.
I was taught, no, you hide that. You put that away because that's not of God.
My mother told me, be careful. Be careful. You know, like with the cards, like she'd say, you have to be careful with that stuff because she was a very I think I want to say paranoid believer. You know,
Uh-huh.
she threw out like when we went to visit my grandparents, my father's parents,
Yeah.
and they gave us like cookies or food or whatever, she would throw it straight to the garbage. Yes. And like I caught her once, like, what are you doing? She's like, we don't eat food from them. She really believed they were evil. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
It was that kind. Like she really believed they were that evil that
Yeah.
they would. And this was part of the, just the whole network of energies that were passed down to me, that how you feel when you're cooking your food, the energy that
Yeah.
you put into it. That's why I always have music on when I cook,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like Water for Chocolate, that movie, it affects the food, it
So it
affects
does.
the energy of the food, right?
Yes.
Just figuring out all this quantum stuff. My mom told me this when I was little.
Yeah.
She's like,
Yeah.
if you're not happy, if you're not good with what you're making, it's going to taste bad. And she also said that about breastfeeding, by the way, She said
Really?
that if you were sad or depressed or you had bad
I
thoughts
could see that
and you breastfed, that you would pass that on to your
in your
child.
baby.
Now, this
Right.
is my mom. She just turned 83, right? And now
Mm.
we're just learning all about this quantum energy where she's
Yeah,
actually kind of right.
she's very right. She's
She's kind of right.
very right. I mean, look at how much the fetus takes on of you play Mozart for that baby to help stimulate brain growth. Um, while it's in the womb. Yeah, that makes perfect sense to me. That you better, when you breastfeed, you need to be in a quiet space with your head in the right space because you're nurturing and nourishing that child.
Yeah. Yeah. I
It's
mean,
not a matter of plugging it into the hose.
right. I know. And you know what I think about that? And it's, I remember being at work and having a pump on Saturdays. And then my husband would feed her the pumped milk on Saturday. We'd put in the freezer, and on Saturday that was what she would drink while I was at
Yeah.
work pumping for the next. And he always had a hard time with her when I was at work on Saturday.
It makes sense.
And I thought it might be because maybe I drank a little coffee
Yeah.
at work on Saturday or whatever it was. He was like, she's just like really had a hard time. And I'm like, I don't know what's up with that,
Where's the milk? You were stressed when you were pumping the milk.
I was stressed at work.
Yeah.
Stressed at work, right?
Yes. Would you like to draw a card? Let's draw a card to get us a kind of a general message from
Yeah.
Spirit for everybody. I just got 3 new decks and I'm having a ball with them.
What did you
The
get?
one I am going to be working is called Therapets.
Okay.
It's really big cards, as you can tell, but they're gorgeous. They're
Yeah.
beautiful cards. So,
Yeah. You know what's nice to do with cards that are big if you have like, arthritis. I have some cards that are really wide.
yeah.
And they're hard to shuffle, and I can't shuffle.
I have arthritis in my hand right here.
Yeah, is spread them out, and
Yeah.
just put your hand, just like a Reiki treatment. If you know about
Yes.
Reiki, I'm a Reiki master. Like you're doing the scan, and it's a Bay something scan over the deck, and
Yeah.
see what card hits you.
That's actually how I will even pick a deck too. I have a
Hard one to
sunglass case display that I have my decks all in.
Yeah.
And
I do
so
too.
I just run my hand over it. They're not in any boxes or anything. I just run my hand over it and then I'll grab a deck and that's where I went.
Yeah.
So today that's where I went with these Therapets. They're adorable cards. They make me smile because they're so brightly colored and they're all about animals, What else in this world can fix us but animals if we pay
That's right.
attention?
So much easier to work with too.
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh, yes.
I mean, really.
So, would you like to go first? You want me to go
You go
first?
first. You go first. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Because I don't even know what I'm gonna pick, but we'll see what you get, and I'll see what the flavor is.
sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah. These cards are fun to shuffle, so I do it this way. Whoop! And that one just flew out, so we'll take it.
Get it. I think I'm gonna do.
I got 2 of them. And I love it. It's so cute. Okay, here's the first one. Well, let me put myself in the hot seat so you can see it up close. Get it out of the. It's a little cuttlefish.
Try your best. It's all that.
It's all that matters. The rest will fall into place. It's so true. We try so darn hard, especially right now. We're expelling so much energy trying to keep our vibes up, trying to keep positive because
Right.
we're going to heal this country and heal this earth. And, you kind of just got to take a breath. It kind of sucks your energy out. And it's
Yeah.
okay if it sucks your energy out to take that moment to go take a bubble bath or go sit with your feet in the mud or whatever
You
you
know
need to
what? And
do.
sometimes your best is crying in the bathroom for 10 minutes
Amen.
instead of 45 minutes.
And then
Sometimes
this one,
that's not, like, wow, or screaming into a pillow, whatever, right? Hey,
little
oh,
meerkat. Hey, you matter. Thanks for existing.
I think we're gonna do the,
That one gave me goosebumps.
we'll do the transformational one. And then
Sounds good.
when I picked this deck up, the goddess fell over.
Aha. Well,
Oh,
that sounds like
that giblets picked on Sunday. I didn't shuffle that deck to go outside. Okay,
I
so
love that.
nature's an
I love
issue.
your Sundays with giblets.
Oh, he's something. I have to start him on Pepsid. I have it, but I didn't start him yet because if he eats too fast, he throws up like an old man.
Oh, he's got a hiatal hernia. How's
GERD.
cannoli? How's a cannoli doing? She's always on my mind.
She's good. You know what? Cannoli is she's confused, but she's doing good.
Bless her little heart.
Yeah, she's something.
And it's so cool that you know what to do with her.
Didn't we talk about fire? We talked about fire.
Yes. Today.
Grounding for creativity. You see the fire underneath? Look, you see the flame underneath? Watch. Oh,
yeah.
Boy, there it is.
What? Now I'm gonna
grounding for creativity. I did light this candle and I did ask for that specifically to, if you're coming in to assist on this episode, I need, I have that Capricorn sun. I need the tangible evidence that, you're here. So I'm grounding you in. I actually said that. I'm grounding you in. When I turned this way and looked at the flame facing south, grounding for creativity. I love that.
That card is gorgeous.
Are these great?
Let me keep it up there for a second. I'm going to put you in look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, that's so cool because it looks like there's even a face in her womb.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Oh, and there's my favorite plant medicine.
Yeah.
Me and my shroom.
It's all about that, right? It's all about the community. It's all about the networking.
That's beautiful. I love that card.
Yeah. This is a great deck. This is I think they call it transformational tarot. None of the descriptors really match. It's a very etheric, artsy deck.
See, I love that. I like decks that are different.
Yeah.
Everybody goes, oh, that's a popular deck. I got to get that one. That's the very deck I don't want.
Well, they're good. You know what? It's good to get decks if you're learning and you're watching YouTube videos and you've got you've got that deck. And
as long as the reader
is right. I had one deck for like maybe 10 years, honestly. And then I did a refresher thing with a different lady when I lived in Tennessee. And part of it was they got you a deck that suited you. And I got 2 decks. And then I just started to tumble, especially after the chemo when I picked it up again, because it was easier for me to piece my day together with pictures than words.
Okay. That makes sense.
So I would take pictures and I would pull cards. And then it became, because I already had that library in my head of what the tarot was, and then I was okay, but I couldn't read for very well for a long time.
Did you find that brain fog that you had that lasted for years?
I don't think it like went away. I think it got redirected.
See, mine lasted for years. It's finally clear. But see, I had breast cancer in 2008. I almost died of kidney failure in 2010 from a medication I was taking for fibromyalgia. And since then, things have just kind of slowly been coming back together. My life has been healing, and I've been
Yeah.
working through so much baggage that I
Yeah.
didn't even know I had.
So like frequencies are changing, right?
They
Your own
are.
frequency is changing. So it's not going to be the same, you
No,
know?
nothing. No,
So
it's
yeah,
already different.
when it went away, it didn't go away. It changed,
Yes.
right? And then it's actually better because I think I understand things better.
Yes. Yes. Um, I think that was the whole point of COVID and making us go into a solitude, is to force us to go inside and think about ourselves. Think
Yeah.
about, wait, what do I stand for? What do I want out of this?
Yeah.
If I survive this, what do I want from here on out?
Right.
And you and I
I
had that
agree.
when we had our cancer experience. The rest of the world just has had that
I
experience.
that's what I said when it all started. I told my daughter, I'm like, this is just like when I was on chemo and we had to wear masks because
Yep.
I was
My mother
susceptible.
couldn't use my bathroom because the
Right.
chemo would poison her.
So we kind of went into that mode and it wasn't that difficult.
Right.
But yeah, I kind of felt part of me was like, I've been through this. I
It's like, oh,
understand
here
it.
we go
Yeah.
again.
But I'm not claustrophobic.
Yeah.
I'm able to ambulate and go. I mean, I live in a city, that was just, it was probably easier for me because I understood it. But there's some people that just couldn't wrap their heads around this, right? Couldn't
Yeah.
wear masks or weren't, it just didn't make sense.
I'm giggling. Hi, Stony Baker, my friend. That's one of my grower friends.
Hey, Stony Baker, MD.
He's someone you need to pick his brain, my love. He's a fun person. Oh my gosh, his live streams are a blast. We
Oh,
rock out and have a good
cool.
time.
Yeah.
Yes, I have. At this point, I usually do the Lightworkers. I recite the Lightworkers pledge. I
Okay.
found this on the internet. I'm working on designing my own cards, and as I've been working on the book, I came across this, and it was like, oh, I got to go put this in the show. This has to be a part of the show. So if you guys just want to follow along quietly with me, read along. It's in the depression. In the depression. Hello, it's in the description box, and it's kind of basically explains what our purpose as light workers are. All of us in this chat, and Ona and I, we're all here to make this a better place. And that's the light we shine. So we are light workers. So, as light workers, I declare a pledge to love. I will act based on judgments from the heart. I will act not based on judgments from fear or lack. I will act not controlled by self interest, commercial, or political agendas. I will act attempting to reduce conflict and division. I will act to promote cooperation. I will act to promote consensus. I will act to promote peace. I will act recognizing the quality of all human beings. I will act to pursue a picture of collective truth rather than personal truth. I will act to acknowledge the responsibility of supporting others in their spiritual awakening. And I will act and do not deliberately or knowingly misinform. I declare this pledge in love.
Nice.
Yeah, it just kind of centers you. It just kind of, this is what I'm supposed to be focused on. I'm not supposed to be focused on me.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
change the world, we got to change ourselves. And the rest of it falls in. And so, yeah.
Be a good example. You can't just say, you can't just tell people, you can't just teach people. You really have to be a good example.
You got to walk the talk. You can't just talk it.
Mm-hmm.
because people have seen too much of the talk in their lives. I
Yeah.
think that they're
You got to
so
show up.
rebellious and rejecting it so much right now that yeah, you want to drive people off.
Yeah.
Be
Yeah.
a hypocrite.
Uh-uh.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Ms. Una,
Yes.
what do you do when your energy is zapped to bring back? What's your
What
favorite
do I
activity?
do when my energy is zapped? I really do have to say that I put on my headphones and I will give myself um, some strong binaural beats.
Oh, cool.
And then it doesn't, like, I don't follow a certain protocol. It just depends on how I feel at that moment, right?
Yeah.
So lately, honestly, I've been doing limbic system binaural beats,
Ooh.
and it helps me fall asleep a little bit.
Ooh.
Um, I have to lay down, I have to remove myself. And then if I get an intrusive thought,
Oh, sorry.
right, well, I'm meditating, laying down, like today.
Yes.
I had the beats, and I actually don't remember. I don't know if it was limbic system. It was something else. I'm laying there, just didn't want, like, I didn't want my eyelashes to crush or anything, so I was just laying down nice and just want to get in the vibe, help me get centered and grounded. And I smelled meat, like a butcher shop.
Oh, that iron blood smell.
So I said, thank you, but that's not what please go away.
Oh my
Whatever it is please go away, because that odor isn't pleasant. Okay. And it probably doesn't denote a good thing. Right. So whatever it was like, and my neighbors aren't barbecuing. This was like being in a butcher shop.
Oh,
This is a
yeah.
butcher shop kind of smell.
So it's a raw meat smell, not a
Raw
cooking
meat
meat
smell.
smell. Yeah.
And I said it out loud. I said, meat? Really? You got to go away. You have to go away.
Yeah.
So if you get, like, my intrusive thought process, I
Yeah.
have to say it out loud. You have to go away.
I do too.
I don't
I do
need you
that
right now.
too.
You served your
Oh,
purpose. Thank you. Let's move on. Okay, come back later. We'll work on, we'll come back to you later. Give me something different. Literally, I have to say, go away, because I need to focus on something different. And then whatever I'm listening to, it'll be the color or whatever, and it goes away. But yeah, I tasted meat when I listened to something.
what happens to me? What happened with me is when the first impeachment was going on, I would wake up in the middle of the night, sweating
Yeah.
profusely, going, "What the hell?
Yeah.
Where's this energy coming from?" My stomach would be tied up in knots.
Mm-hmm.
And I was spending every waking moment I could watching political card readers.
Yeah.
Guess what? Pretty soon I started seeing pictures in the hallway that looked like, you know, presidents, and I was in the damn White House and
Yeah.
I was feeling Donald Trump pacing the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to say, no more. Get
Yeah.
away from me. I don't want his energy. I don't allow it near me, on me, or around me. And so, for that reason, I don't do political readings on this channel. I will collaborate on other people's channels and do it, but
Mhm.
not here. Not here.
That's a really good example of how, when the vibe is negative, the vibration from the words are negative,
Yeah.
or the tone is strained and the pitch is piercing, that it doesn't matter who it is. If you get yourself into that energy, you can really start to ride in that roller coaster.
You can. I got in it. I got accidentally got in Putin's energy too. I knew
Yeah.
a month before he invaded Ukraine that he had extremely bad stomach pains, that were
Yeah.
about to drop him to his knees, but he couldn't let it show because it made him look weak. I knew he was dying before he even went into Ukraine. I could feel it. I looked
Yeah.
in his eyes in a photograph and went, whoa, he's got pretty blue eyes, but there's nothing there. And then immediately I got this pain in my stomach that was followed
Yeah.
by extreme nausea. And
Yeah.
then I saw him walking with a military guy, and he stopped walking. And I knew that was the moment that I had just felt. And
Yeah.
then I heard him say in his mind, well, that was a bad one. He almost saw that. I can't let that be shown. And then
Yeah.
he started walking and talking again. And that was the end of it. I was like, okay, I
Yeah.
don't want to go here. So I quit watching anything that had anything to do with
Yeah.
Ukraine.
You have to dissociate yourself and have a plan, I guess, when you're
Yeah.
what you do when you're really zapped. You have to really um, tune out and have some
Do.
kind of for me, I have to have like an audio and
I do. I do.
trigger.
Or something totally mindless to watch with my eyes. So I'll watch wood
See,
turning videos.
I can't
Spinning, spinning, spinning.
golf.
Yes.
Golf. I can't, you know what? I'm not really, I don't want to watch TV. When I never watch TV. I watch Stephen Colbert and sometimes the news at night, a
I have a
little
big screen
teaser
TV. I
stuff.
don't even turn on. I watch everything on my cell
I
phone.
I really try not to because honestly, as soon as I hit the bed, when I'm reclining, when I'm supine, I fall asleep
I do too. I do too.
like this.
And that's
I
great.
do
I don't
take
always stay
melatonin.
asleep, and I'll only know that I fell asleep was because I woke up and whatever I'll have my phone in my hand and I'll be watching a video and it'll be over. And the commercials and every ads will be all over too. And it'll be just in that blank spot. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, I guess I fell asleep.
yeah,
And then I'll be mad because it'll be some documentary I wanted to watch. Because I love them.
yeah, yeah. I
I
do
was
like
going to show you
documentaries,
this
but
for
I have.
your. Have you seen this?
Oh yeah, I have one that's a headband.
This my Rachel that's in the chat sent me this week.
What is
It
it?
is a full mask with headphones
Yeah, yeah,
that the uh speakers are adjustable to fit your ears. It is the softest, most
yeah. I have
lovely
one that's a
material.
headband that I had to put a safety pin because it didn't have the Velcro strap like that. I like that
Yeah,
idea.
I
It does.
love it.
You know what? Do
And it doesn't smash your eyelashes.
right, put a bobby pin in because if you
Oh
sleep on your side, the
yeah.
speaker's like over here in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah, that
Right?
would be a bit of
So
a
the
problem.
attention is here because it does
Okay.
kind of slip. So I would put like a bobby pin in and then they
Oh,
wouldn't move.
I got the
But I
perfect little
found it
clip.
to be comfortable, more comfortable than headphones in bed for sure.
I have these little clips that women who make quilts use. Where did
Yes.
I put those? They're little
Make it
clear plastic
stationary.
clips, and that would be just perfect.
Yeah.
Because they've
Make
got a
it
real tight
stationary because
metal.
it does shift around.
I would imagine. Yeah, I use it during the day.
Ooh.
Because for to meditate, and then at night, I'm big on books. I do audiobooks at night.
Okay.
So, as a matter of fact, right now I'm learning how to go from being an empath to a mystic. It's a really good book too. Really good.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Tell me about it.
Um. He's Gosh, I can't remember his name. He's a bunch of workbooks and stuff on being an empath for
Uh-huh.
people that don't know what it is to be an
Yeah.
empath.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was at first.
Yeah.
And then I realized, oh yeah, I've always felt stuff like this.
Yeah.
I've always had a knowing about stuff. Like when someone in the family was very sick, I'd know when they passed.
Yeah.
More
And
often than not, because they come and tell me goodbye.
watch that as you read more and
Yeah.
open more channels and vortexes, you will feel more.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you'll be like, oh, yeah, this makes sense. Oh, yeah.
That's what's happening like crazy with
Yeah.
me right
And
now, big
so
time.
if you're sensitive to that, like, build
Since
that,
this last
ask
new
for that
moon.
protection, saying, we can have a chat, but you can't stay, right?
Right.
It's
That's
not,
what brought this came in with this last new moon. I've been getting lots of epiphanies, my word. Oh, that's why
new
I
moon
had
in
to go through
Cancer.
that when I was 6.
Yeah, your old feelings are coming up. It was new moon in Cancer, so we're bringing up the
Which
Cancer
is
stuff, right? The family,
fascinating.
the old implants and
Yeah.
things like that you're like, oh, now I can sort of understand
Yeah, I've
how
got a
that.
Gemini sun. So I'm
You know,
Aquarius. I'm an Aquarius. I'm sorry. I'm an Aquarius sun, Gemini moon.
okay,
I get it right. Gemini rising, Leo moon. Quite,
okay,
I'm an airhead, but big time.
okay.
Airhead with a, I like to talk.
No, I like the Leo ascendants. I'm learning more about the archetype of the body habitus, right?
Oh,
Yes, and you've got the hair. So
interesting.
I'm gonna open a file and see if I'm right about picking up on ascendant, because I always try and guess.
Oh, that's cool. You know what? I
Sometimes,
should have you do my chart. I would love to have you do my chart.
yeah, we should look at it.
Yeah.
Definitely. I'd love to look at it.
I'll have
Yeah.
fun. Hi, Teresa. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, that would be fun. Yeah, I know just enough about astrology to be dangerous. I understand the signs and what their aspects are.
Yeah.
Like there's a reason why Leo's the king of the zodiac.
Yeah.
We got Leos. If you got a Leo sun, you got to be the attention. Period.
Yeah.
Period. Good or bad, you got to be the attention.
I know.
It's just interesting to me. I find astrology really fascinating, but then when you start getting into the nodes I haven't
Yeah.
gotten really into that
Yeah.
enough to understand.
It's not something that you're like, oh, okay, I graduated. It's you don't like study for 4 years and
Yeah,
get your paper and you got it.
yeah,
It
yeah,
has so many arms to it. There's um everybody with a different opinion makes sense in
absolutely.
some way. It's really, really interesting how everybody sees charts and has that information comes out, and it's a lot. It really grounds me, actually, because it makes me
Mhm.
focus.
Yeah, well, when all the COVID first started and we were going to go into shutdown, I don't know if you've ever watched Yvonne Davis, the astrologer.
Yes, yes, yes.
She came out and scared the crap out of me because she said we were going to be going through a dark time where we were going to be forced to make a serious decision and it was going to say whether our country lived or died. And I was like, no, I don't want to hear that back when COVID
Yeah,
was starting. Guess what we're
yeah,
living through right now?
right.
She was so right on. I was
Mhm.
like, I don't want to hear it. I don't. Spirit's really good at slapping me upside the head when I say, no, I don't want to hear that.
That's so Leo.
Yeah.
You.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so Leo. That's so Leo. I was like, yep, yep. But at least now you recognize it. You're like, yeah,
Well,
no.
and Spirit did that with me with the channel too, because I've had channels before. I had a party channel, a party stream. That's how I met Stony Baker, MD, and Rachel Hug. It was from my channel 4, 5 years ago. Yeah, I had a ladies' night at the bar kind of channel. No holes barred. We had a great time. I got all kinds of trolls, and I got a stalker, and oh boy, did I learn what you don't do on YouTube really quick. It was
Oh
fun.
my God.
It was an education. So, but when I shut that all down, it was like, I'm never going back. And Spirit was like, I would like you to start a channel where you can help people. The
Yeah.
awakening will be coming to you in droves soon. And I went, no. Thank you. I've been through YouTube. I don't like that. I don't want to do it. I'll do a website. I'll do Instagram. I'll do anything else but YouTube. So Spirit went, okay. So I started my Instagram channel or my Instagram page.
Yeah.
And that was mainly, I just showed my diamond paintings and my artwork and stuff on it. And then I started doing a card of the day. And then it's developed into that. And now here I'm back. And then Spirit's like, well, now it's time for you to go to YouTube. And I went, I don't want to. And Spirit says, you're not hearing me. It's time for you to go to YouTube. We're not asking you to go. We're telling you.
It's not, it's not that restricted. It's free, I mean, for you to be able to publish content and have enough people interested in it that you can get reimbursed for, free, really.
Yeah. I have
it is big. I'm gonna light the candle one out.
Oh my goodness, it's interesting.
What? Like, all right.
I love it. Oh yeah. Fascinating. This is a great conversation. I love this, girl. We got to work more. We got to do this more.
Very cool. Very interesting. All right.
Yeah.
So how is everybody else? How do you, what happens to you when you feel like you're zapped? How do you break out of a negative pattern or even a negative thought pattern? Yeah.
I plug in my Raycons to whatever Amazon, and I let Spirit pick it. I go into Amazon Prime Music, and you have your soundtrack, or you have your likes, where it just keeps track of everything that you've hit, and then it'll just play one song right after another. And that's how I'll meditate. I'll dance. While I'm listening to music, I'm like wiggling and dancing and getting my hips and back and body all loosened up, and then when that's all done, I usually take a nap.
Yeah.
And wake up like ready to hit it again.
Yeah. Definitely to close your eyes and take that time out and just a little nap time. Yeah.
Just go nowhere. Just kind of get that find that quiet space. And even if I don't get into a deep sleep, I usually prefer not to, because if I get into a deep sleep, then I want more of it when I wake up. It's like, no, wait, I'm supposed to be, it's nighttime. I need 8 hours now. You know what I'm saying?
Do you sleep 8 hours?
Never. Only if somebody has given me a medication or something that'll help me do that. I have insomnia. I've got fibromyalgia. That's our number one complaint.
Yes. And CBD helps it. Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That is really, really, you know what? Honestly, I have to say, I cannot imagine what kind of medication I would be on at this point.
Oh, I've tried it all. I was on 200 milligrams of morphine.
Yeah, if it weren't for CBD,
and I take no narcotics whatsoever.
Yeah,
I take no pharma medication at all now, and I'm 64 years old.
Right. No, I won't take anything. If I do take something, it would be Tylenol, and I do use like Voltaren cream.
Yeah.
That's stuff like that. That's anti-inflammatory. I don't like to take orally, but any cream, I'm good with that.
My favorite cream is Aspercream with lidocaine.
Yes, a good.
I need a bathtub full of that stuff.
A good compound with a little lidocaine. Yeah, for sure.
I broke my hand right here a few years ago, and it's that little bone that sits sideways. It's the scaphoid, and it popped on one end just like an exploded balloon. So there's all these little bits and pieces of bone. They said, well, that might heal and it might not heal. It might bother you with arthritis later on down. Oh boy, shuffling cards hurts.
Yeah, opening
and it burns like fire right here. So I'm thinking there's carpal tunnel going on in there too.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to the doctor in any hurry, because I don't know what my HIPAA rights are right now. I'm in Arizona.
Really?
Not really, because of the abortion shit.
No kidding.
Hey,
You're
they make
worried
it
about
so the
your own.
government can look at my medical record, look at a woman's medical records to see if whether that miscarriage was caused by her or caused by
I gotta
nature,
say no. No.
you know?
I don't think that anybody um can go into someone's protected medical record and try and find a loophole to not service your need.
No, what I'm thinking, I
No.
mean, but what I'm talking about is like, I'm not, me personally, my HIPAA rights, because I can't have babies anymore. I'm kind of old for that. Besides that, they removed my ovaries with my
You
cancer
would not
treatment.
fall into criteria where there would be a red flag for them to even
Yeah, they wouldn't even look twice at
cure
me. I'm
this
old. They wouldn't look twice
information.
at me.
I know I don't was yeah.
They don't even look twice at me. I'm old, but I'm thinking about my one of my dearest friends is 30 years old. She's got a 2-year-old. She has the RH factor issue with her baby
Mhm,
daddy, and she's terrified. If she gets pregnant right now without having the shot and her body eats that baby,
mhm.
how is our government going to treat her?
She can come to Illinois and stay here if she needs to worry
She go
about her rights to,
Yeah, she can go to California too, right next door.
make a decision. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think that these states are going to have
It's
a
not gonna
lot of
last.
weight soon. I honestly, I haven't really read on it.
I'm waiting for it
They
to get
sort of like
tested.
fell into this place that can cause fury. Okay,
Yeah,
so
right.
I'm trying to not go there because let me tell you where I was standing and I found out that happened. Holy crap!
Oh, honey, I
People
know.
were pissed off. They were pissed. So, and then the shooting and all that other stuff
I have to
happened.
say
But I
Highland Park is I was thinking about that when that happened. I was like, "Oh, wow," and then I've got Una coming on Thursday.
yeah, that whole piece is very, very interesting too. We actually looked at this kid's chart in astrology class on Tuesday, and it's so different than the last two shooters, the 18-year-old and this kid. It seems like it's a whole new diagnostic um, disease. Like there's something different, or there's multiple layers of different mental health issues,
Yeah,
but it's a multifocal problem. And it's just,
yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
Well, and I'm sorry, but I hate to say this. It sounds like conspiracy theory, but I have a feeling in some of these kids, these guys are recruited. I'm sorry. My gut says
So yeah.
Vivaldi, that whole Vivaldi thing, that was not an typical shooting. The
Mhm.
reaction of the police, all of it. And the babies that died were babies of color.
I think they have to worry. I think they have to. They're gonna get in trouble for slow walking that response.
Oh,
They
they
are going to
all
get in
better
trouble for
be.
that. And
As far as I'm concerned, they're accessories after the fact. Actually, they're accessories during because they did
yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
And they were told not to do anything. That's the thing that makes me say it's a conspiracy. They were told not to do anything.
I don't know. I have to say that I could understand where you would fill that in,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Where because that would that would make sense to put the picture together to accelerate the hatred for this group. But
Yeah, the
honestly,
division.
I have to say we don't know every single
No.
thing, right?
Right.
and we can easily fill in those bald spots with ideas that nurture our anger or our tears, or we'll
Yeah, our
fill in those.
feelings.
So I don't know if these kids were planted. I like to think they're just really effed up. And I
Yeah.
just don't know what it is. What is the affective disorder? What is it that makes them act on these fantastical thoughts,
Because
right?
for months before that, I kept hearing, my spirit guides kept hearing, you guys need to stop. You need to pull your heads out of your adult asses. You're not paying enough attention to what you're doing to your children. And that includes you, light workers. You are not paying attention to what people are doing to their children or what they're not doing. They're not realizing how their hatred and their vocalization uh, and the division is really fucking our kids up.
I,
Big
I I don't
time.
know. I don't know if it's
It's pissing them
we can.
off. They don't know who to trust.
What if, how we're all talking about how COVID has brought us to a new level of awareness?
Yes.
And what if everybody is going through a new level of awareness, but they are unable to cope with that new level of awareness?
Exactly.
I think these kids are way too responsible for shit way too early.
Yes. They're not allowed to be children.
And this is that group that really started with digitizing their brains even before they were born. Now, remember you said put the Mozart on the pregnant belly. So this is that generation. This is when those headphones, those pregnancy headphones came out, right?
Yeah.
We've been inputting virtual input.
Yeah.
This is that
Yeah.
2 years old. We've been putting virtual input into their psyche for 22 years, and now we're like, what the hell is wrong with them? What's going on? Like, I can't figure out, how could you. I don't have an answer. I just have
Yeah.
a very curious open file to see where is the reality,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Although, and at the same time, they are so responsible. And in a way, when they're so far more mature than I was at 18 years old, my God.
Totally. Totally.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
because we didn't have the accessibility to
no, we didn't have that.
know,
Yeah.
right?
And if you spend, if you're like me, if you spent a lot of time in the library looking things up, other people made fun of you.
Right.
And now, if you're really good with Google, you're cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
I think honestly that's part of the problem, is it's just information overload, right? And some of the information is just a pile of crap.
Yes,
It's
and it's
bullshit. It's
also
photoshopped. It's
and it's
surreal.
oriented to keep you. Oh, yeah, and it's not because I have a degree in computers. Am in the I'm in the group that helped invent cookies, my dear.
Oh, you?
Yeah, me.
Oh no.
We had no idea that it was going to be like that. It
No?
turned out to be. It was really strictly a way of tracking your demographics.
Yeah.
Period. That was all it was ever designed to be. It was
Yeah.
never designed to be such a privacy intrusion.
That's why I don't do these things, but I know you're supposed to. And they were very, very important to us when we worked in hospitals. And I urged all the patients to do the surveys, because the surveys actually do track your demographics. So when
Yeah.
YouTube has a survey that comes up, or Facebook, no, I don't do those.
No.
I
And
read those
don't do
surveys,
those little
right?
games those little games that find out your fairy name. What?
Don't do that shit. I
That
would
is
really,
what Cambridge Analytica was on Facebook, you guys. Did you know that? Those little things like find out what your unicorn name is, or
yeah.
that was Cambridge Analytica. That gave
Okay.
you gave them permission to look at everything on Facebook that Facebook had collected on you, and they
Mm-hmm.
took it all.
Mm-hmm.
That's Cambridge Analytica.
Mm-hmm.
So no, don't do any of those.
Right.
Why would you want to know your unicorn name anyway? You know what I'm
Well, you
saying?
do. It's just, it's so, it's personal information,
Exactly. It's
right?
like,
And somebody could build a profile and then scam you. Just, I mean, stay off of that garbage for sure.
well, when we first went into lockdown, I got my identity stolen. So I've been dealing with identity theft crap for the last 3 years, and
Yeah.
it hasn't been fun. Right now, the IRS has it in their head that I owe them $4,000. I don't have enough. I've never made that kind of an income in my whole life to have to pay the IRS $4,000.
Wow. Wow. Well,
Hey, you can't milk a dead cow. What can I say? I don't have the money. They can't get it from me. So what can I say?
oh, they'll work with you, honey.
Oh, I know they will. And
Mhm.
only asset that I really have is my house. I don't even own a car.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense
They'll
to
work
me to
with
own a
you.
car. As much as I would use it, I don't go anywhere. If I need to go out of town for something, I'll rent a car. I don't
Yeah.
have to pay for the upkeep. I don't have to. All I have to do is buy the gas, and then I turn it back into them when I'm done. If it's broken, they'll bring me another car.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
So yeah, it just didn't make
But you
sense to
don't
me
need
to
it. You don't need
buy
it.
a car and make all those payments and buy the insurance, all that.
Oh my God. That was the worst. I've had my car for 11 years. And I hated car payments so much. I would keep a car for 10 years.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh
would
yeah.
finance it for 5 and I would keep it for 10 because I hated car payments so much.
Same
I'm
here.
in no position to buy a new car, by the way. So this is going to be hopefully lasting me a lot longer. But
I'm
that
like,
was like the worst. It was just the worst. It was just robbery.
I'm wanting to get something like a van or a box truck and make it into a conversion that I can live on and get the hell out of Arizona in the summer. It's too hot for me here.
Yeah, it is isolating, isn't it?
So, and I was raised in the National Park Service. So my first park I lived in as a child was the Grand Canyon.
Wow.
I lived at Bryce Canyon National Park and Crater Lake National Park in Oregon. I am very much a country mountain girl,
Wow.
and I'm
Wow.
living in the middle of the city. And so everything I do in my yard is to seclude it off from all the people around me and bring in the wildlife. So I have hawks in my
Right?
yard. They don't go to my neighbor's yard, but they sit on my bird bath.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yes.
they
Oh,
know the
yeah.
energy is
I
safe.
know. I really was feeling that today. I really was, and I do the same thing. I like have the plants to curtain off the neighbors. My daughter actually slept out on the balcony one night, and I was like, "Oh, I always wanted to do that." She's like, "I don't care." I'm like, "Yeah, I kind of do. That's the problem."
I kind of would like to, you know, where I always wanted to do it, because here my house has got pretty much a flat roof because we don't get snow.
All the way up there. Yeah,
So
yeah,
it'd be really cool to sleep up on the roof.
yeah. On a cool night, and it is
Mhm.
cool at night in Tucson, isn't
Oh,
it?
it is. It is.
Yeah,
It's actually last night I was out running around in my yard. I have a little outside kitty. She won't come inside. So I go spend time with her in the middle of the night, whatever, whenever I get the urge. So I was
yeah,
out there playing around with her, and it was so cool and so nice. And the stars were so bright, and it's really quiet. There's no cars. We're talking like 2 o'clock in the morning.
yeah,
I'm out there playing with my cat.
yeah. That's why I get up when I get up.
Yeah, I'm up at 2, 3 o'clock.
Yeah, because I like to, it's so peaceful,
Matter of fact, in
so
the
quiet.
wintertime, I am trying. I have this little game with you to see if I can get my card of the day out on Instagram before you get your morning potty break prediction done.
Lately, I've been, it's in a little bit later because I just want to make sure the dogs are settled. And, I have to think about it too. Sometimes I pull the cards and I'm like, well, don't know what to say. This doesn't kind of make sense. And then I'm like, oh, and then it hits me. So lately it's just been a little bit later because I've been
Yeah,
staying up a little bit later.
I pull them and then I do a music meditation. I listen to Native American flute music, usually in the
Okay.
morning.
Okay.
And then that's when I'll get my spirit messages. And then I'll write up the card and then I go back to bed.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't always go back to bed. That is also when I'm the most creative.
Yeah.
So I'll dive in and like make the ads or go into Canva and play around with stuff. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Very
So,
cool. Very,
yeah.
very cool.
Well, we're over our hour. I thank you so much for coming. I can't wait to work with you again. I can see it's happening.
Yes. We'll pick a topic and we will share.
I agree. Definitely, my dear. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for
I
asking me.
always, pardon me?
Thank you for asking me.
Oh, well, of course. Oh my goodness. I always close out with a little quote. Shine your light and make a positive impact on the world. There is nothing so honorable as helping improve the lives of others. And that's Roy T. Bennett. And it is so true. The first time I put my morning card out on Instagram and somebody actually told me in the comments how it helped them,
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, I don't want to do anything else. This
Yeah.
is wonderful.
Yeah.
I helped somebody today.
Right.
And
Right.
that kind of a feeling is worth any ostracizing that I can get.
Yeah.
People who want to call me a heathen or whatever, I'm so proud I'm a heathen and a sinner because I'm helping people.
Isn't that interesting? It does. It absolutely does. I have to say, I've done that too. Sometimes when I feel like shit, or the question was when you feel zapped. When I see comments
Yes.
that just tickles me. When I see that people have made relationships inside comments inside comments of people that know each other.
Yeah. It's wonderful, isn't it? It's wonderful.
I love that.
It's so cool. It's like I'm looking at the people in the chat here tonight, and we're all friends in here. We all know each other. It's Sherry, Voices from the Swamp is here. We've got Melinda, False Teeth Tarot is here. It's so much fun. I can't imagine what I did before this. Well, I do know I belong to a women's organization that was supposedly a spiritual women's organization, but it really ended up being a pyramid scheme.
Oh my gosh.
You pay a gift of $25 to join, and then you work your way up through these chairs. And by the time you get to the end, you were supposed to collect $168,000. Now, this is a spiritual organization, but you're going to collect all this money.
Yeah, that is a
I
good
went,
point, that there are people that are taking advantage of the movement of
Mhm.
being a light worker or whatever
Yes.
to get into people's soft side, right?
Yep.
So with that being said, I have to say this, that people, light workers or channelers or tarot readers, they don't advertise on your news feed.
Nope.
Okay, you
They don't
find the person
solicit
that's
you.
right for you. They don't come to you, and you know when the fit is right, because I see a lot of that spammy kind of, you know, talk to William, psychic, and I'm telling you, they don't. Does a counselor show up on your phone and say, "Hi, I'd like to be your mental health counselor"? No, you
Exactly.
find your counselor, right? You find your therapist. Same
Yeah.
kind of thing with the tarot, with any tarot reading, mediumship, learning classes, astrology, palmistry, tarot, whatever. Find the person that fits you. Right.
Exactly. And
Okay.
don't feel pushed to do it in any
Mm-mm.
frame of time limit. A lot of people will start a YouTube channel and they want to do this card reading thing like we're doing, but they're just starting card reading and they don't have the confidence. And so they think that we're judging them as card readers because that they're doing right or wrong. There is no right or wrong, first of
Right.
all. Second of all, it's your interpretation. It's what your guides are telling you. The confidence comes with the practice, and the confidence comes when you start to hear from those people that you're reaching.
Right.
And you don't even have any idea how you're reaching them, but it gets there. That's when it's awesome. That's when it pays for it.
I'm going to get going.
I love you. Thank you, my dear.
Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, everyone in the chat. I love you all so much. Thank you, Sharon Sipe, for posting all of our. She always posts everybody's. She's rocks. That girl, I tell ya.
Nice.
She's everywhere. You guys, be kind to one another, but most of all, be kind, gentle, and tender with yourself. And we'll see you next week when my guest will be Celtic Sheila.
Fun.
Yes, we'll see you guys. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.